Switzerland, one of the safest countries in the world. Working in this paradise could be the best decision of your life, but you need to apply for a Switzerland work visa to move there. Hi, this is Max from the Visa Library. In this video, I will tell you about Switzerland work visas, eligibility principles, requirements, the application process, FAQs, and so much more. If you haven't, now is the time to subscribe to our channel. Like the video too, and let us begin. Who needs a Switzerland work visa? Let's see. It depends on the length of your stay and your nationality. The EU and EEA nationals do not need a visa for up to 90 days to stay in Switzerland. The employer must register the employee through the notification process for short-term visa in Switzerland. To stay longer than 90 days and work, they need to apply for an appropriate residence permit. The permit also gets called Swiss Residence Permit B or Residence Foreign Nationals. To get a work permit, EU and EEA nationals need a valid identity card or passport confirmation of employment from their employer or a certificate of employment. The validity of the EU national's work permit is up to the employment contract and they can extend it for up to 5 years, which is again extendable. One of the requirements for a Switzerland work visa is having a job offer. It is not true for the EU and EEA nationals. They can move there and look for a job so easily. But to work for longer than 90 days, they need a residence permit, and yeah, that's it. Non-EU nationals need a work visa and residence permits, both of them. The visa is permission to enter the country, but the residence permit is the permission to work in Switzerland. The Swiss employer applies for residence permits in Switzerland, but the employee has to apply for a work visa form in their home country. The point to remember is that you, as the employee, cannot apply for the Switzerland work permit, and it is the employer's responsibility to apply for it. That is why it's essential to find a potential employer who's willing to hire you as a foreign worker. The employee needs to send some supporting documents to the employer so he or she can apply for the work permit. When the Swiss officials agree to issue the work permit and grant permission, the employee can apply for the work visa from his or her home country. Let's answer a question. Who is eligible for a Switzerland work visa? Not everyone can apply for a Switzerland work visa. You have to meet some standards. Let's see. Number 1, job offer. It is essential to have a job offer. The employer must have advertised for the job in Switzerland and the entire EU area. If the Swiss employer has not been able to find an employee, you can take the job. The job must meet the set standards and cover your expenses in Switzerland. Also, the agreement must lead to a work contract. Number 2, qualification. You must be a highly qualified person. You must have professional skills in your field. Number 3, experience. You must have enough work experience in your field. Having 1 or 2 years might not suffice. Also, you must prove your expertise to the officials. Number 4, degree. Having a university degree is a must. If you don't have one, you could provide a parallel qualification from training academies. Number 5, language proficiency. You must speak and write in the required language. The language depends on the area you live in, but holding an A1 level is mandatory. Remember that the job might require higher language proficiency. You never know. If you are not fluent in the language, the officials might accept taking part in Switzerland's language courses. Your employer could make sure of it. So there's that. Ask the Swiss embassy or consulate in your home country. If they accept that, provide proof of enrollment. Number 6, quota. The Swiss government puts a quota or cap on the issued work visas. When you apply, the quota must not be full. It must allow you to get a work visa. Now, what are the requirements for a Switzerland work visa? Let's see. Number 1, application form. Get the application form from the nearest Swiss embassy in your home country. Complete it with the correct form of relevant information. The language of the form can be German, French, Italian, Spanish, and English. Number 2, passport. It must be valid for at least 3 months over your work contract. It could not be older than 10 years. Having at least 2 blank pages is a must. Provide copies of all pages of your passport. Number 3, photos. You need 4 identical passport-size photos of yourself. The photos could not be older than 3 months. Also, nothing should block your face. Number 4, work contract. Copies of the work contract between you and the Swiss employer is necessary. Number 5, qualifications. Copies of your diplomas or certificates along with the original form are required. Number 6, proof of experience. Provide evidence of all professional work you've done. Number 7, educational background. The officials need all the information about your fields of study, your colleges or universities, workshops you have participated in, your CV or resume. Number 8, proof of accommodation. You could provide a rental agreement. One thing, have all your documents translated into English, French, German, or Italian. Also, the Swiss officials might ask for additional requirements. Now, how to apply for a Switzerland work visa? Let's see. You need to know one point before the application. There are 26 cantons or territorial divisions in Switzerland. The rules and regulations might be different for a work visa in each one. So, do your research. Let me tell you about the standard procedure of applying for a Swiss visa. Step 1. Check if you need a work visa in Switzerland. I already talked about it. So, step 2. See if you're eligible. Again, talked about it. If you are not, work on your conditions to change them. Step 3. Job offer. You could find a job through the internet or get help from the recruitment agencies. You and a Swiss employer must agree on a work contract. The offered job must fulfill the rules and pay you enough to live in Switzerland. Step 4. Get a residence permit. The Swiss employer has to begin the application process. Remember that you and the employer must keep in contact with each other. There are a few documents and information that the employer needs to begin the application. The employer will visit the local immigration service in his or her canton. The employer must inform and prove to them that no one is available in the EU or EEA for that job. The local officials will evaluate the conditions and inform the Federal Office for Migration or FOM for approval. If the FOM approves the case, they will notify the Swiss employer, the local immigration authorities at the canton, and the Swiss embassy in your home country. Step 5. Apply for the Swiss work visa. You could begin the procedure for a work visa a bit early, but you must be 100% sure that the government issues the residence permit. You'll need a Switzerland long stay visa. Find the nearest Swiss embassy or consulate in your home country. Receive the application form in person or from their website. Complete it with correct and honest information that is identical to your documents. It is particularly true with your passports. When completed, print the application, print it 3 times, sign and date it. Yeah, that's it. Step 6, collect the requirements. Now, I already talked about them, so just remember this. You need 3 pieces of each document. Provide 2 copies for each piece of the original document. Step 7. Set a visa appointment. Set a visa meeting with the Swiss embassy or consulate. Go to the embassy on the exact date. Try to arrive a few minutes early. Take all the requirements. The embassy's officials will investigate your documents. They might require you to submit more documents. You never know. The authorities might ask you some questions about your background. If so, give them true and honest answers. Step 8. Wait for the processing. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks. When they issue the visa, you can move to Switzerland, but you have to receive your residence permit upon arrival. The employer and officials of the canton will guide you. Now, let's talk a little bit about Swiss residence permits. There are different types of them. Each one of them has its rules and limitations. Let's see. Number 1, Residence Permit L. The L residence permit is valid for 1 year and you may not change your employer or company. Now, often, you might be able to extend the permit for another year, but the L permit does not allow you to work for longer than 2 years in Switzerland. Number 2, Residence Permit B. Its quality is 2 years. However, you have the authorization to extend it for 5 years. You may extend it for another 5 years. The government allows you to extend a Permit B every year. Yet, you have to keep the employment contract with your initial employer. Stay in the canton of your employer and not leave it. And keep working for the same first employer. When you live in Switzerland for 10 years under Residence Permit B, you can apply for a permanent residency. The EU and Canadian residents can do it in 5 years. Good for them. Number 3, Residence Permit C. When you have lived in Switzerland for 10 years, you become eligible for permanent residency or Permit C. It allows you to live anywhere in Switzerland you want, work for any employer you find, and change jobs as you wish. Remember that only Residence Permit C allows you to become self-employed in Switzerland. How long is the Switzerland work visa valid? It depends on your residence permit. The validity of the residence permit determines how long you can stay in Switzerland. Also, if you manage to keep working in Switzerland, you can stay as long as you have a work contract. Now here's a question. Can you extend your Switzerland work visa? You can extend the residence permit if you have a job offer. In fact, if you continue your work contract with the Swiss employer, you can stay in the country. Another question, how to find jobs in Switzerland? There are various websites that can help you find a job in Switzerland. I've put the link for our article in the description. In it, you can find a list of proper websites to find jobs. Go ahead. Also, some large companies and corporations in Switzerland always need skilled workers and employees. You can contact them and ask if they recruit new staff or not, or follow their recruitment ads. Again, you can see the list of those companies in our article. Another question, how much does a Swiss work visa cost? The Switzerland work visa fee is about $100. However, you would better ask the embassy about the fees and prepare enough money to pay it. Well, there you go. Now you can start your application and get that sweet Swiss work visa. If the steps were so confusing, don't worry, I'll put a cheat sheet on our website. Go ahead and download it. Link in the description. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. It will help YouTube's algorithm. If you have any type of visa that you want to know about, write the name in the description and we will make a video for it. Thank you all for watching.